Yep, if you haven't figured it out by now, Mega Man Zero 1 stands firmly in the number 5 spot of my top 5 favorite Mega Man games of all time. People always ask me about what games are my favorites aside from the obvious number 1, but hey, it's my channel's 15th anniversary. Well, it was back in October, but anyway, what better time to share that info while also demonstrating how I definitely have played these games way more than an average person should. I know my top 5 like the back of my hand, and Zero 1 is no exception. I first played Zero 1 when I was in 5th grade, I believe, so the game was already about a year old by then. I'll get a little bit more into my earliest memories with Mega Man when I get to number 2 and 3, but man, no matter what, there's so much nostalgia for this game, and it's one of the better games to illustrate how knowledge and experience of the game can truly elevate the experience. I recorded fresh footage for almost all of this video, but this one in particular, I just reposted my remastered run of the first Neo Arcadia stage. This is my favorite stage in the game, mainly because it allows to show off most of the game's crazy mechanics, such as damage stacking with the boomerang or taking advantage of small iframes to perform infinites. I know the majority of people hate this game the most out of the Zero series, but I don't give a shit. This is my list. I'll always love it no matter what anyone says, both for the years of memories I have with it and its insane busted combat that never gets old. Bet you weren't expecting this one. Truthfully, Mega Man 6 used to be in this slot, but over the years I've grown to appreciate 4 as one of my favorite classic games. It introduced the charge shot that I didn't even use in the video, by the way. The level design was on point. Aside from parts like Cossack 3, auto-scrollers are the worst. And most importantly, the special weapons were just so damn good. It's easily the most underestimated arsenal in the classic series, and having access to the hot swapping mechanic via the Anniversary Collection, or more accurately the Complete Works versions, only augment their usefulness. Thanks to hot swapping, I hardly need to spam my buster to maintain the gameplay flow. When a Mega Man game can justify me balancing my weapons usage and not having an over-reliance on just one or a few to play efficiently, that's when I know I'm playing a great one. It's mainly mainly why I prefer the classic series in the complete works personally. That's why I was so happy when episode Red of Sequel Wars implemented hop swapping, because that's now my new favorite way to play Mega Man 4. I chose Skullman here for the demonstration, not only because it's my favorite stage, but because it's also the perfect playground to utilize almost every weapon. The downside is that you don't have Skull Barrier yet, and Dive Missile isn't too great here, hence why it isn't used. But there are several other stages that those two weapons shine in, like Toad Man, Drill Man, Ring Man, just to name a few. But yeah, I've also spent a ridiculous amount of time on this game, and it certainly deserves its spot on my personal top 5 list in the number 4 spot. I'd say Mega Man 6 is still more nostalgic and familiar to me, but that doesn't mean 4 lacks any nostalgia for me at all. Man, this really should be number 2, but I'm just putting X4 here in 3 because it and what's in number 2 just feel equally cherished in my heart. The two tend to frequently swap positions, depending on my mood, I suppose, and it'd be pretty boring if the number 2 spot for this video was a shared slot, so I just went for what I was feeling at the moment. But man, what is there to say about this gem that hasn't already been regurgitated by thousands of people? I don't think you even need me to tell you just how good this damn game is, so I'll just focus instead on how underappreciated the X gameplay experience is. Zero stole the show from X from this point in the series, and he's all everyone talks about when it comes to the PS1 titles especially. I love the guy. Trust me, he's in my damn channel name and profile, for God's sake. But this is Mega Man X, and X4's special weapons had one of the highest skill ceilings in the series for me. Sure, it has a strike against it for certain enemies just being straight up resistant to certain weapons, but it helps balance the weapons so you don't have to have a repeat of Zero, who's always been unbalanced by design and just effortlessly tears through things. With X, there's a degree of strategy to playing efficiently, and I very much enjoy figuring things out like a puzzle. That's probably the best I can describe the experience. With each stage, you're given puzzle pieces to assemble, and man, when you fit them all together, everything just flows so smoothly. That's why Magma Dragoon was selected. While Slash Beast is better to show off the entire arsenal, it's a little too chaotic, and it's one of those stages where the Buster itself just outclasses the majority of weapons due to it just being a much better mob wiper. Volcano happens to also be my favorite stage, so it was a nice battlefield that has a short but sweet setup to demonstrate what mastery of the arsenal looks like.
Ready. Ready.
Hey boy, come on. Shoot. Shoot. Fire. Ouch. Oh no. Ouch. Go. Oh no. Go. Oh no. Oh no. Why one die?
Yeah, so if Mega Man 4 didn't surprise you here, then I'm sure those unfamiliar with me definitely didn't expect to see this in the number 2 spot. Yeah, Dr. Wahi. Yeah, jump, slide. I get it. And guess what? I don't care. Let's first get my shallow reason out of the way for adoring this game. It's so goddamn beautiful. The sprite work is phenomenal. The presentation's out of this world, and it's so vibrant, teeming with infectious high energy. And the music only strengthens the vibe. This, along with X4, was my introduction to the Blue Bomber, way back when I was just 6 years old. I've explained my origins of discovering Mega Man 8 in my Mega Man Saved My Life video, or whatever the hell that title was called, but long and short of it, I fell in love with the game just from watching my brother play it from a distance. And looking back on it, the game's presentation truly did well to captivate me as a kid back then. The vibes I mentioned earlier were the perfect recipe to get a 90s kid hooked. So it goes without saying that despite the game's flaws, it has a special place in my heart, and each time I return to the game, I always find amazing ways to utilize the special weapon arsenal. Mega Ball jumping is still one of the coolest mechanics to me in the entire franchise, and I'd say the game still had the best weapon hot swapping before the wheel was introduced in Mega Man 11. I love how it just said screw the rules. Being able to swap weapons while another is still on screen, Wrecking Shop is the best. I always slightly disliked how you had to wait until a weapon's full animation played out before being able to switch in other games. In Mega Man 8, it's all just fair game. It makes for some interesting combinations like the Mega Ball jumping during Tornado Hold. That's why I'm glad that Mega Man 11 was more or less just an evolution of 8 style, which is why I really need to do more playthroughs of that game. Searcher Man stage is my favorite in the game, and it also happened to be that one stage that just opened itself up to being a perfect war zone to demonstrate the capabilities of a mastered special weapon set. Also, say what you will about the voice acting, but this line always cracks me up.
Hey boy, come on.
Come on. Really? If you didn't see this one coming, I don't know what to say. Newcomers to my channel, you're excused. But everybody else, if y'all thought my number 1 was anything but 03, shame on you. No cookies for you. You can comb through the various Mega Man and Chill videos I've made on this one freaking game, and yet I still don't think any of them can fully capture just how much I respect it. No matter how much time passes, there's absolutely nothing that can surpass this game for me. I've played 03 so much that I've banned myself from playing it anymore outside of content creation. It's been played to an unhealthy amount, putting it mildly. So when the time comes for me to just kick back and casually play it again after my self-ban is lifted, I can fully enjoy it again. All of my videos on the Zero series should be enough to tell you why I love it, so for brevity's sake, I'll just hit the main points. Number 1, the recoil rod. The fellas at NT Creates were geniuses for crafting this thing, man. The utility, movement options, launching enemies into one another, 1000 fucking slash. It has so much use outside of just a weapon meant to stab stuff with. I'm a trickster, okay? I love pulling off neat shit that still has practical use. It's really hard for a game to strike that kind of balance, let alone cramming it all into one weapon. Number 2, the combo system. While more rigid compared to the 100% freestyle of Zero One, the intricacies of using priority values to bypass iframes is one of the most unique mechanics I've seen in a heavy combat game. Honestly, the gameplay just speaks for itself there. Number 3, high risk, high reward. I've never had a Mega Man game that encouraged me as much to do well in it as this one. It actively rewards you for being tactical, yet aggressive and fast paced, just like how Zero himself would be. Usable rewards in the form of new X skills, but also just the satisfaction of being told you're a freaking legend for playing at the pinnacle of your skill. Number 4. Look, I love everything about this game, okay? Again, I get people's critique about the Zero series in terms of how X skills are acquired and all that, and hey, that's valid. But again, I don't care. This is my list, and I personally enjoy how they went about the design here. The gameplay loop, combat mechanics, the satellite elf system, the story, just everything. It's the game that truly helped me get good at Mega Man overall. And I think this is the best time for me to say, thanks, guys. It's still crazy to believe that I've been doing this YouTube thing for 15 years, despite me not taking it seriously until 2018 rolled around. So even though it'd be more accurate to say the real journey began 6 years ago, I still can't ignore the rest of the channel's history. Most of my old videos are unlisted now because YouTube kept getting confused as to who my audience was. I was pretty much a variety creator starting out. I believe the very first playthrough I ever did was Skyblazer for the SNES, and I think that series of videos are still public out of everything I've unlisted. Then I did the SNES Mega Man X trilogy playthroughs, Fire Emblem GBA, Ninja Gaiden No Damage Run, more Mega Man games, other random shit like Dungeon Fighter Online and L-Sword, and then finally the Tales series character solo runs. Tales was pretty much the majority of what I did from 2012 to 2018. So those were the main offending videos that confused the algorithm because it kept thinking I was strictly a Tales of channel. But all of that is still part of the journey that led up to this moment. And for everyone that rocked with me ever since 2009 and possibly are still here, thank you even more. I didn't even think I'd amassed nearly 20,000 subs either. I was literally going to quit in 2020 because I was getting nowhere and I was barely under 1,000 subs at the time. But when the Zero Series tech guide blew up the way it did and shit kept snowballing from there, I'd have been real stupid to quit while the momentum was still going. I guess you can say that guide was my last attempt to make something with enough substance to grow. And if it flopped, I truly wouldn't be here right now. I'd likely be somewhere else, probably writing my books or something, and this channel would have literally just been there archived for eternity. And that guide is still my most successful video to date. Now that I look back on it, I don't like that video very much anymore, but I'm way past my guide phase to care about remaking it now. I'm just chilling now, y'all. The channel's momentum definitely slowed to a snail's pace now, and I'm not gonna hide that, and that's 100% my fault. I'm not gonna be one of those people who blame YouTube for everything when their views fall off. I was going to make a video based off a live stream I did going into my semi-retirement phase, but as I was making this video, I literally just said screw it. I wasn't gonna make a big hoopla over it like I planned. After the Model PX challenge run, I will still retire, in quotations, from the try-hard, super high-effort challenge running content. You can watch the VOD of my past live stream for details. I'll have it and the right timestamp in the video description, as that goes more into what I'm currently facing. But here's the abridged version. I'm finally tired of playing Mega Man, y'all. I can't enjoy this series casually anymore because of these videos. I'll still make the occasional challenge run in the future, but only when the inspiration hits me and if I've literally got nothing else better to do. Also, this channel, Magnus Zero, hogs a lot of my free time. I wish I could exaggerate that more. I know the upload rate doesn't reflect that too well, but I'm always working on something, albeit slowly because of my day job. And it takes away time that I need to work on my other channel, which is more in alignment with the direction I want to head in for my future. So I want to make more silly shit over here because it's more relaxing, and Magnus Zero has always been a hobby of mine, not a job. I want to keep it that way. Even though I'm retiring from this try-hard BS, I'm not leaving. Things will just be different going forward. I still want to do that Mega Man and Sonic Archie crossover review, if you want to call it that, and other goofy shit like that, which was planned but never happened. I just want to get back to my video essays on the second channel. But we'll see how everything pans out. I don't want any of that to bring down the mood of this video, which is a celebration of how far this channel's come, and it wouldn't be here if not for you all. So yeah, thanks, and stay chill, y'all. Happy New Year.